Hey everyone, Wolfie here, and today we're actually going to be talking about Metal Gear Solid Survive. This game was recently released, and we're going to be doing a little bit of talking about that and the company responsible for it, the owner of the Metal Gear Solid series, Konami. But before we get into that, I'd like to, for anyone that is unfamiliar with Konami or Metal Gear Solid, I'd like to do a little brush up on who they are, what they've done in the past, and well, they're also public enemy number one. They have been in the past because of some shady stuff they'd been doing. So I'm going to touch on all that really quick before we jump into talking about some of the things going on with Metal Gear Solid Survive. So for anyone that doesn't know who Konami is, creator, owner of the Metal Gear Solid series. The actual creator of Metal Gear Solid was Hideo Kojima. He used to work for Konami, but a few years back, him and Konami they parted ways, and well, they got to keep the rights to Metal Gear Solid as he was working for them at the time. Very big franchise, by the way. They've made tons of games, and the games have been well received. People love the games, the franchise, the series as a whole. Uh, Loved by many, and pretty cool game. Pretty cool games, a series of games. A lot of people have played them over the years, and the storyline does continue throughout them. It's a consecutive thing that it does. They do continue off of one another in some way, from prologues, before, afters, and so forth, sequels. So that's Metal Gear Solid. Now, what happened a few years ago, which is why Konami is pretty much enemy number one, is when they parted ways with the creator of the series, Hideo Kojima. When they parted ways, well, his game had won the award, I believe, for at the Game Awards, which is a big ceremony for games. It's like the highest, the biggest one. It's essentially the Oscars of gaming. His game won an award, and he was going to head to the Game Awards in order to receive that award. But what happened was, last minute, Konami had a representative of their company, a lawyer, call him up and say, "You're actually still under contract with us, and we don't want you to attend the Game Awards." Now, this was his game. He put all the effort in at their company, made them millions of dollars for the entire series, actually. But the most recent game had won the award, and he was going to come to the US in order to accept their award, stand up on stage, and just take a bow. But Konami did have that representative call him and say, "You know what, you're still under contract, and we we don't want you there attending it and accepting the award." So what happened at the Game Awards was, someone heard about that. I can't remember his name. He was the host of the Game Awards. Can't remember his name, but he announced to everyone that the company Konami had done this, and ever since then there has been a hashtag going around, and they've been enemy number one among gamers in general because of this injustice that they did to the maker of the Metal Gear Solid series, who did so much for them and made them so much money over the years, the lifetime of the series. So that's the backstory to Konami and what's going on there. Now, moving on to Metal Gear Solid Survive, which came out recently. There have been some shady things going on with that, and what I want to start off by saying is, it seems like the game as a whole is possibly just a money grab, because Konami is trying to get as much money as they can from the fans of the series, the Metal Gear Solid series. Now, I'm going to go into that. Judge for yourself once I explain why it is that I believe that it seems that way to me. So I've got two main things here. Number one, well, technically three. The third one's smallest. Let's talk about that first. Tons of microtransactions in this new game that they made. Tons of microtransactions, and building onto that, it carries the Metal Gear Solid name when It's not actually a part of the series like officially. It doesn't continue the storyline or anything like that from the main thing. The characters in this, it's not the main character that we followed throughout the original series. So yeah, that's the small third one there. So the biggest one actually is the fact that this game doesn't give you extra game saves, extra game files. Normally in gaming, you have, well, in the past, you've been allowed multiple game saves and files. You could make as many characters as you've wanted for a lot of games. But the very least that a game has given you in the past has been 3 save files. Some of you may be familiar with this from The Legend of Zelda, for instance. You've always had at least 3 files that you could make, 3 separate files. See, now what Konami did in this game, Metal Gear Solid Survive, is they only give you 1 save file. And if you want more, you do have the option to acquire those, but you have to buy them, each one. Let that sink in for a minute. You have 1 save file, and if you want to have a new character, a new game, you've got to go ahead and spend, it's at least $10 in order to buy another character slot. You have to spend at least $10 in order to do that. That's not normal in the world of console gaming, at least. That's definitely not normal. I don't believe it's normal in the world of PC gaming either. At the very minimum, in a PC game, I believe I've seen at least 2 slots, if I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3, and that's normally with free-to-play games as well. So the fact that they're doing that, it seems like it's very much of a money grab, since 1 save file, let's say someone buys a game, they have siblings, they have a friend, they want to invite them over so that they could try the game out for themselves. They can't make their own account. $10 has to be spent in order to buy another one. That's part of the reason why I'm saying it seems, well, let's say that's the bigger reason why it seems like a money grab in my opinion. Let me know, by the way, what are your thoughts on what it is that I'm saying? What do you think about this game? Thoughts on Konami? If you have anything you'd like to share, let me know. So there's that. And remember, this is a brand new game, full price. It's not like a half price game. It's full price, like a brand new game. And on top of that, if you want a second character, $10 per character slot. So there's that. And the other thing they did that I think is quite shady, you might agree with me on this one, is, well, whenever a game comes out, they release copies early to reviewers or influential people within the gaming community so that they can give you their opinion, their thoughts on the game, let you know what's up, what's going on, and so forth. Review copies. And these normally go out before a game is released. Now, the thing here that happened with Konami is, while that did happen, there was a bit of a problem. The people who did get those copies, they weren't able to play the game because servers for the game did not go online until the day of the game actually being released. That is not normal. Normally it goes online several days before the actual release of the game. But in this instance, at release day, release time pretty much, that's when everything went live. Now, I say that's abnormal. And a reason why that's, well, I explained the reason why it's not a thing that's normally done. But a reason as to why Konami could have possibly done that is because they knew something was wrong with their game. They knew something was there that people would complain about, that they would not like, and them spreading word about that would be bad press for their game. So in order to avoid that and make as much money as possible, that's why they made this choice to release day servers going live. So that right there, it really does make it seem like a money grab by Konami here, this game in general, because of all the things that I've just listed. Anyway, those are my thoughts on what's going on with Metal Gear Solid Survive and the whole Konami situation. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this. Let me know, do you think this is right? Do you think it's wrong? Should 3 save files be a standard? I mean, it has been for a fairly long time. The fact that they're giving you one, does that get you a little? Do you think it's a money grab? Let me know what your thoughts are on this whole situation. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this one. Remember to drop a like in the video if you did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'm Wolfie, and I'll see you next time.